We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome back to These Unprecedented Gays, your go-to podcast for all things queer, where we unpack the nuances of LGBTQ plus life in these unprecedented times.
But it was fun getting them ready.
It's what?
It was fun getting them ready.
Oh, good.
I was sitting in a hotel waiting to go to Beyonce.
Oh, Lord.
And I was like, you know what? I have an assignment today.
Did you hear about the drama with her concert?
No, what happened?
There was several. So
She had a cease and desist from the Sphere because in the opening montage that she has that plays at the beginning of her concert, it has the picture of the sphere, or she's picking up the sphere or something like that. So they sent her a cease and desist letter.
That's a stretch.
Right. And so because they said it makes it seem like at the end of your concert, you're going to have a residency or something at the Sphere.
Okay.
And so what she did is she decided, okay, well then I'm going to take out the Sphere and replace it with Allegiant Stadium, which is the stadium in Vegas.
Yeah. The big.
Wait, is that where she's performing?
She is performing in Vegas. Andy goes to Vegas in July, and the weekend right before he gets there, because he comes in on a Monday, and the weekend before he gets there is the weekend of the Beyonce concert.
And
the weekend before that is the Gaga concert.
Yeah, July. In the July.
Vegas is going to be hopping.
Oh, and did you hear about Gaga?
What happened with Gaga?
So supposedly...
Oh, the 2.5 million people in Rio?
Well, no, not only that. But supposedly, she listens to These Unprecedented Gays because I'm Paul.
Oh, and I'm Joe. I was like, does she
Allegedly,
really?
no, but there is a rumor.
Joe just shit his pants.
I did a little wrong.
But allegedly, when Jeff Bezos and Lauren, whatever her name is, get married in Venice in June or July, they have paid for two high-profile people to perform at their wedding. One is Gaga. The other is Elton John.
Ugh. And they get along, so that works too.
Yeah, and it worked. They were they're friends.
They got some music together too.
And so they'll play songs from both of their catalogs, and then they may do a song together.
What song did they sing together?
No, I'm just saying they might just do a song, just one, either his or hers.
But they don't have any tracks.
No, they
where
don't
they're
have a
featured.
track together.
Okay, I was gonna say
they've sung duets together.
Well, a duet is not a track.
Okay,
but I would have loved for him to do a whole album of those where he takes two of his songs, mixes them together, and then has somebody else sing with him, like Dua Lipa.
And
Britney.
Panua or whatever.
Yeah,
Panua.
Well, the Panau did the remix.
Boy.
Did the remix for them. So
it's Panua.
Punani.
From an editorial place, I have to say I'm a little disappointed from last week because you didn't say What's Giving You Life is Barbra Streisand's new album with all of the guest singers she's singing with. You didn't even bring that up at all.
Does anyone in this room know about that?
Yes.
I will tell you that I did not know that Barbra Streisand had an album out of duets.
Oh, you didn't? No, it's coming out. Her new album with duets.
Oh, what is it called?
I don't know.
New
album.
Who's on there?
The way they were.
Duets,
right.
It's going to be just as long as her biography.
Well, it's and who's on it? Is it just all like Broadway stars like Jonathan Groff and?
I would love that. It's going to have a lot of people. Doesn't matter. As it comes out, we'll get closer.
Does that say James Taylor?
Yeah, Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, James Taylor.
Girl.
I mean,
it is not.
Sting, Sam Smith, Seal, Josh Groban. I mean, this is the album of the...
So the most recent one is Sam Smith then. Did Sam Smith get married?
I don't think so.
Because it looks like he may have gotten married recently.
To who?
To a gentleman.
To Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Okay, he didn't. He has not gotten married. Okay.
But he's with this guy.
Yeah, he has a boyfriend,
Oh.
Christian Cowan, but there were pictures that made it look like they had gotten.
Well,
Okay,
Christian.
they're starting to look very much alike.
Yeah, boyfriend
Well,
twins.
that's a very gay thing.
Boyfriend
to do,
twins.
Is you start looking like, you know how some people start looking like their dog? Gay men start looking like their boyfriends.
Do I look like Nick?
No,
Absolutely.
You're
Thank
good.
God. I
And,
love
yeah.
that.
Although
I'm like,
we are both wearing Birkenstocks.
I'm not wearing Birkenstocks.
Yes,
we'll
you
talk.
are.
I'll talk about my Berkey journey.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite lines from Megan Thee Stallion. She goes, "You're buying Birkins, I'm buying stocks."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, good wordplay."
My favorite line
Same
from
girl.
Megan Thee Stallion is "Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me."
So, how was your week, Joe? Nice segue.
I know. Did I get gobbled, swallowed, and dripped down the side? I don't think so. Well, Nick was out, so there was no that. But we saw you guys, and then Nick went away to LA, and I guess not caught up, but like watched the mid-century modern.
Mid-century modern.
And I think like I got more invested, even though like I was just like, the fucking laugh tracks are killing me. But it's recorded in front of a live audience.
Right.
So it's not, I'm like, is that real laughter or fake laughter?
Probably a blend.
Because
Probably a
it's
blend.
it's like if you know how like when you are like experiencing life and someone like tells you about something and like that's all you can see or hear. Like I noticed the laugh tracks and that's all I hear when I watched it. All I heard when I watched it. I was like, oh my God, this is so annoying. But I texted you guys like I love the mom, but then I didn't realize she had passed away and like
Oh, plot twist. Or
spoiler alert. She passes away. Well, it's news. But the episode that they like dedicated to her was super heartfelt and it was super pretty. And so I really enjoyed Mid-Century Modern. What was her name?
Linda Lavin.
Linda Lavin.
Yeah. It made me cry. I was like, oh my God, I'm experiencing like emotions
I
for
just
this
saw
show.
her. She was in an episode of Elsbeth,
What?
which is on Paramount Plus, and I was like, okay, she played like a very New York character.
She was great. She was 87.
Elspeth was a attorney that comes from The Good Wife and The Good Fight.
Oh, she on The Good
universe.
Wife?
Yeah, she's.
I didn't know
she's
that.
from that universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause she was from. She said she's from Chicago.
Yeah, she's
so.
always like fun, quirky attorney that's
I
in
love
that.
it.
Yeah, so she got her own like little spin-off.
Right, and I love it, the fact that you know exactly who did it and what happened.
Yeah.
But it's like her journey.
I love
through
Elspeth.
figuring it out.
I need to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
I've watched 2 episodes so far, and I like it. So I might download a couple extra ones for the
Plant Girl, yeah, get your VPN
To
on.
your mid-century, I would say my favorite episode was the Richard Kind episode.
Who's
I think
that?
he did it. That guy.
He was in a couple.
yeah.
Where they go to the bar.
I really liked it. I think
Well, they
He
went
was
to
in a couple
P-Town.
episodes, yeah.
yeah, one or
In
two. Yeah,
P-Town.
Yeah,
or whatever,
P-Town.
yeah.
That's also
It
the
was-
Mormon episode.
Yeah.
yeah, that part.
It was
I'm
cute.
gonna block out.
I thought it would, like, as I was watching it, I was like, this is cute. But my Birkenstock journey occurred on... Oh, no, that was on Saturday because we saw you guys. And then, as we know, I have no impulse control and I have to do things like the minute I think about them. And so...
And we did talk about Birkenstocks.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a continuation of the plot. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go to REI. Like, I'll figure it all out. And I go to REI, and I had, like, such decision fatigue because there's options that I didn't know of. I was like, it's a fucking sandal. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. It was like, well, do you want the soft sandal or the hard sandal and the thing with the back? And I was like, I don't want to deal with this. And I was like, I'm going to go to the Birkenstock store in Old Town. There's no Birkenstock store in Old Town. It's a creepy, like, commutative store with, like, different brands, and Birkenstock is, like, one of them.
Oh.
In a food court. Like, on Google Maps or whatever, when you, like, get close to something and it, like, the directions go away?
Yeah.
Like, that happened, and I was like, where the fuck is this store? And, like, you're there because there's a sign that you can pick up. Like, you know how they have, like, little, street signs where it's, like, the little, like
Like a sandwich board
like the
sign?
A thing?
a sandwich board sign.
Yeah, that was the sign to get to the Birkenstock store.
This sounds a lot like your journey in Boston, going to get.
Oh my God. Why I
always
do
the
not
shoes.
have simple sandals stories.
It's always footwear related.
It really is. Because so it gets the plot thickens.
I'm glad I
so
wasn't in town.
I get there and I was like, oh, I didn't know that these were the options. Because REI, I have, like, when you are a co-op member where you can, like, sign up and you're a member for life, you get basically cash back. So I had, like, $100 of cash back basically for free money. And I was like, well, I don't want to spend money at this Birkenstock store if I can go back to REI. And I was like, do I really want to go all the way back to REI? Like, I don't know. And like the 163 was closed that day for like whatever reason. It was like, I think they were doing construction.
No. There was
There
was a walk. It was called Best Buddies Walk or something like that for people with developmental disabilities.
Did they walk on the freeway?
Yeah, it's just like, you know.
Oh, like the Rock and Roll
Susan
Marathon.
G. Komen walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, do I want to go back to REI? So I went back to REI. And then at REI, I was there for 45 minutes asking the poor salespeople, like...
Can I just say something real quick? I don't mean to interrupt. Every time Joe says REI, you have to take a drink.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone, you'll be dead.
Also, we might have to check Nick for before he stands up, because every time Joe says REI, Nick rolls his eyes.
So I was at REI. Sponsor us, thanks. I love REI. And it was a lot of decision fatigue. So anyway,
So much
I get the
drinking.
Birkenstocks, and now I have Birkenstocks. So that was all a very
But you're not wearing them today.
Well, no, because I'm on your couch and I don't want to. They're over there. I wore them, but you have to like break them in, and I didn't know that.
I
And,
told
like,
you that.
See, now if you had a crunchy lesbian who was a friend of yours, they would have been able to help you choose the Birkenstocks that you like.
I know.
Help you break them in, because they probably have like some hemp
Tool.
oil or
Yeah.
something
Right.
that
Yeah.
helps you do that. You know, a branch.
missed opportunity. I was.
A special device.
I'm living my lesbian life now. My lesbian era, but not. So that was my weekend.
But you're wearing Birkenstocks with socks.
Yes.
Always.
Because as I've learned by going on Reddit, it's better to break them in with socks instead of barefoot, so you don't like hurt your feet, because they like apparently mold to your feet from like the whatever.
Right,
the
but
foot
until then,
thingy.
you can
Yeah,
rub
I
your
ain't
skin
trying to get no blisters. No, ma'am.
Love my
So I'm
Birks.
a socks with sandals man now.
Okay.
Living my old man journey.
For all you judge me in my own fashion senses, I'm glad you're into the Birkenstocks now.
Yeah,
I was telling him I've had Birkenstocks since I was like 12 years old.
I didn't.
That's a very Mormon thing to do. I
It
think.
was a gift from grandma always.
Oh,
Catholic grandma, not Mormon grandma.
Oh,
they got taste.
They got taste.
Yeah, because the Mormons, the Birkenstocks are the devil. So that was kind of my weekend. I was really kind of relaxing with the mid-century modern, and I like that. And then work has been crazy still. And now we're here. How have you been? What's up with you?
we went and saw Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah. How was it?
Yeah.
It was really good.
Okay.
I must say, and I was
We
like,
gotta see it.
I like this like take on it, because it felt very much like I was reading an article, and it did like it was perfect the way they described it. It was like very much like an A24 studio film,
Even better.
or like something like Mission Impossible.
Oh.
It did have that kind of like feel, because like in the beginning of the movie, she jumps from the second tallest building in the world, which is in Dubai. And it's like, oh, okay, well, there you go. And like parachutes from there. And they did it as an actual stunt. It's like Florence Pugh did do that.
Really? She's a
They even
badass.
have like a documentary on Disney Plus about that jump.
About the stunt?
Right.
Oh my God.
So it was very much in that like less CGI as much as they possibly could.
Which is not their like normal thing now.
Correct.
Okay.
So Marvel is taking the fact that people are fatigued with superhero movies right now and
Yeah.
trying to go in
a
a
good
different
word,
direction.
yeah.
So, but it was very good. I enjoyed all of it. I thought everybody
I
was
love Florence Pugh
fantastic.
so much.
And honestly, even for a non-Marvel fan, it was really entertaining. I enjoyed
Awesome.
it.
I was going to ask, because I
I'm
feel
gonna watch
like there is a niche with like the MCU, the Marvel Universe or whatever, and I don't know anything about it. So like...
Well, I also feel like I needed closed captioning, because like the Russian accents are very thick, so I couldn't
no.
understand some of what they were saying.
Have you ever asked for the device at the movie
No,
theater?
but I probably should.
It sits in the cup holder.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh,
The theaters,
And it's
Oh,
the
no,
subtitles?
the
the theaters that offer the CC device. I don't know if you have to pay extra, but it sits in the cup holder.
Is it like an iPhone?
No, it's like a device, and it just has a little green text that comes up, and so that way you can kind of like read it as it's going on the screen.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too.
I wish they would do closed captioning screenings. in my opinion, because I would go to all of those.
I would definitely go to all
Yes.
of those. Yeah.
Closed captions, 100% for all
I'd be
listeners.
fine with it. The thing with closed captions that I don't like is that they need to find a way to put it under the frame. Like, don't put it in the frame. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like,
yes,
if
yes,
it's
yes.
below, like, if it's like the black line on the top and the bottom, put it in there. Just like in the space.
Because anytime there's any nudity, they always put the closed caption right
Yeah.
over where the dick would be.
Right. Put it in the
turn off
blank
the-
space.
Right. But just like Taylor Swift said.
Yes.
I also would like, because I also, when we watch Top Chef, and they're showing like the dishes, sometimes the closed captioning is right over that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, girl.
I know. Everyone has a widescreen TV now. You can put it on the lower bars.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to the opera, you can they will sometimes project it on
Which
the,
I love
the top
that.
of the curtain.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, it's in a different language.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it the English translation or is it the like?
I guess it depends on what country you're seeing the opera in. 'Cause
Yeah.
If it were like Germany, they would probably have it in German.
But from like if it's like Italian
But
music.
the opera might be Italian or whatever the original language was.
Interesting.
So it was very good. I will, if you have a chance, go out and see it.
Worth seeing in a theater.
I never think a movie is worth seeing in the theater.
That's always my question
Really?
these days. Is it worth
Yeah.
seeing in the theater or
Right,
not?
So here's one thing: there were like 20 previews, and
So many.
what's
I love
really
the
weird,
previews.
all the previews were very action movies, but it was so weird for me. I'm just in a different headspace where like these heroes saving America kind of thing, or anything with kind of a nationalistic perspective on it. I just was so turned off by that. Like, I wouldn't go see Mission Impossible or any of these films that were like America First.
There's another Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible
Oh, yeah.
17.
Well, that was the thing. It was
Girl, the mission clearly is possible.
well, like the thing is like every preview was for a movie that was a sequel.
Sequel or
Yeah.
remake.
Or
Wow.
prequel.
Really? So nothing new.
No.
I think there was only one original story in that whole lineup of.
And we're getting to that summer trailer season too.
Well,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, a lot of these are not coming out in summer.
When are they coming
Really?
out?
Yeah, they're coming out like
Thanksgiving.
September and October.
Oh, so they're getting like the holiday season ready.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane.
So yeah, it is insane. But you know what else is insane? Mouth to mouth resuscitation. So what's giving you life, Joe?
It's so stupid, but it's
Is
very.
it your Birkenstocks from REI?
It better
No.
not be.
It's something that is very practical, and for individuals that work from home. I got I have way too many cables that like plug into everything, right? So I have to use a what's the strip, like a power strip, and then I have like another power strip plugged into the power strip, which is actually dangerous. So like, don't do that. So I got a it's like an 8-in-1 like USB-C like puck, but like you can like plug a bunch of stuff in it, and it has been a lifesaver because it like organizes my desk at my home, like work from home desk, and it makes it so much easier. And I know it's stupid and like dumb, but I'm very happy that it's like more organized now. So it's like I don't know what you call it.
$19.99.
Okay,
It's like
Grandma.
something like that, but like it's a power charger thingy. Like
Yeah.
so that's what's giving me life, because I just like would have to like unplug something and like plug it back in, and like where's the cord? Here's this cord, and I'm just like I need like something.
We
you know?
actually like the one where your phone magnets to the on your
I like
table
those.
next to your bed, where the watch, the phone, and your headphones can all charge.
That's what
I got him that, yeah.
And then I've got cables coming out of it for other things.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think that having an organized life is definitely something that can give me life, which I am very happy
Decluttered.
of. Oh yeah, well, thank God. And everything now is, I think, the USB-C, either like USB or USB-C. So I'm like, just have like minimal cables. So
For now.
oh my God, what's next? USB-D,
Yeah.
USB-D.
USB.
USD.
So what's giving you life? So
have
hopefully something
quite a
more fun.
few.
Good.
Can't wait.
So the first thing is Janelle Monáe at the Met Gala. I don't know if you saw her reveal for her outfit, because this year was all about tailoring and the dandies in black fashion. And so she was amazing. She said she was a time traveler, but she had a cape that looked like a suit, and then somebody took that off, and then there was the suit underneath, and she was just fantastic. That's like she understood the assignment.
She did.
I think a lot of
before.
the Met Gala outfits were really cool. I love how it was like it's serving suit cunt.
Right. And and that was the other thing. The theme at the Met Gala was fantastic too. And it's like you don't normally get to see this artistic expression celebrated.
What was the prompt?
And so it was tailoring and like black fashion, especially like the dandies.
Yeah.
So a lot
That's
of
so
Tom
cool.
Brown at this fashion at this the Met Gala. A lot of people with capes, and I love that.
I love a cape.
I love a cape moment, and there were a lot of reveals on the on the Met Gala carpet.
And I saw a girl that had like the train on her dress was like
Diana Ross
feet. That was Diana Ross.
That was Diana Ross.
The whole staircase was her.
Yeah.
The whole staircase was her.
Oh, I loved
and
it.
it even had her children and her grandchildren's names embroidered on it.
Really?
And that was the first time she's been to the Met Gala since like
23 years.
23 years.
No way. I mean, that's
Yeah.
an entrance.
Yeah, she
16 feet.
And I will say the blue carpet with the flowers on each side and stuff
Beautiful.
like that. When people got like Tiana Taylor was gorgeous, like photographed there and stuff like that. Even the men, like Coleman Domingo, looked so fantastic. Good. And I must say, even ASAP Rocky, Pharrell, all of those guys looked amazing. And so I was very happy about that. I'm loving the pettiness happening right now. Like, along with Beyonce being petty towards the Sphere. But also, you've got... I hope this is real, but Linda McMahon sent a letter to Harvard, and then supposedly they sent it back with a lot of red marks.
Yes.
Oh, like edits? Like having to edit your essay?
Yeah, like...
Oh my God.
Corrected her English, and Harvard posted it on their own social media.
So
Yes.
I'm living for Harvard.
I think it's legit, actually.
I'm hoping it is legit, because I feel like that level of pettiness is amazing. So,
They're just the question marks.
right. Like,
Circled in
about?
question marks. Oh my God.
And then Jasmine Crockett was just today, I don't know if it was today or recently, she was in one of her meetings and she asked somebody, we're going to play a game, Trump or trans? And she asked a bunch of questions, like, who defunded this? And it's like Trump, and it's like this, and that's Trump, and everything. So who is a bigger threat to society, Trump or trans?
I love her.
That's amazing.
And then she ended with a placard, a poster of Trump at the golf course with his, like, looking all schlubby with his pants all hiked up all high and everything. Like, that is some pettiness, like next level pettiness.
Did you see Laverne Cox did something similar where she's like, trans people aren't raising your prices. Trans people aren't killing your friends.
Right.
Like, it's Republicans.
Right.
Like, we are the one, like, trans individuals are not the threat.
Well, and then there was an article about a woman who, a lesbian, was at a hotel or
In Boston.
in Boston, and a security officer, they got kicked out of the hotel because she was in a woman's restroom. They thought she was a man.
Yeah, queer couple.
Yeah.
So both of the women went into the bathroom,
Oh, dear.
and they got, and they were asked to prove.
I'm like, do you want me to show you my vagina?
I think that's what they were asking. Like, prove your sex. So they were asking to, like, see this.
See, this is the problem. Like,
That's the problem.
You guys don't understand.
That's not protecting women.
right. Exactly.
Sorry.
But you know what? They should do that for everyone, every Bubba going into any
And Nancy
public,
Mace.
Yeah, every person
Nancy
going
Mace.
into a public
Every
space,
person in...
show your penis if you want to go into the men's
Yes.
room.
Oh, this
Right.
sounds fun. Let's do it.
I know. I'll be happy to.
I'll be the inspector.
Where? How do I sign up for that job? All right, you're a man. You're a
Inspect
man.
and rank.
You're a man.
Are you sure?
It's looking a little soft, a little small.
Oh, look at this little cute little one. Okay. And then the last thing is a show on Hulu that we're watching right now that Annie got me into. We watched the first episode last night. It's called I Kissed a Boy.
Oh.
And it's a gay dating show from the UK.
Okay.
With Danny Minogue as the host.
Related to Kylie.
Minogue's sister. Yeah.
I figured.
Lesser known.
Oh, Danny's a girl,
Yeah.
Yes.
not a boy.
No.
Equally
Is it Danny
two
with an
eyes.
eye?
Very pretty.
Two eyes.
Danny.
Denny.
Very pretty with a lot of tasteful side boob.
Yes.
Oh, I love a tasteful side boob.
But the cool thing is okay, so it's called I Kissed a Boy, and these people have never met each other, and then there's 10 guys starting off, and then they meet as couples, and when they meet, they kiss to see if there's a spark right away. They don't even introduce themselves or say anything. They just walk up to each other and they kiss.
Oh my god.
That's very gay culture in some ways.
And it varies, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
we're not even going to talk to each other, like ask each other their names. It's like we just start kissing.
We're going to
And
kiss
then they
first and then
start-
see if we like
right,
each other.
And then I'm going to tell you my name.
Yeah.
But then they start like adding other guys to the mix.
There's drama.
It starts with 5 couples.
I'd watch it.
And yeah.
Are they
it's-
couples together? No. They don't know each other.
they
They don't know
met.
each other, but they've been paired for different reasons. Like the producers have paired them.
Suppose because they meet some criteria
Okay.
that the other person was looking for, but they may
Oh.
not physically like that person.
Oh.
Exactly.
And one of the guys on that first episode had never kissed a male before, and
jeez.
it was his first time.
Hope he has a good therapist.
Anything, yeah. So and now they there's one season, but they're just going to start the next season as well. And there are some guys in there that I'm like, okay, they don't have the it's very cool because they have all types of body sizes.
I was just going to
and
say
types.
it's very diverse,
yes.
ethnically and body type, and just like human.
And I must say, like some of the guys on there are like not normally my type, but I'm like your personality and your smile is like winning me over.
I mean, I would kiss all of them.
Like Ben is our top. Like we
Oh,
think
yes,
he's
he
like
is.
yeah,
Is
he,
he?
yeah, but I think he's verse. But like he's got a really cool smile and he's got a nice personality, and he is actually pretty good looking. That's not a very good.
At least as far as you can see so far, but their personality may evolve.
Oh, hi, Dan.
They're all being very good right now.
Oh, I don't.
Oh,
like
Dan is not cute. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's Gareth. I'm sorry, that's
No,
Gareth.
so let's not spoil it for our audience. Go check it out. We'll have
Go check
another
it out,
recap
yeah.
Oh,
of this
not Jake
at a
W.
later episode.
I feel like Josh is a good lay.
Josh is the
he's
guy
the-
who'd never been kissed.
Oh, then he's not. Oh, wait, scroll down one more. Maddie.
Oh, we haven't met Maddie yet. He's
Oh,
on the
Mikey's
first
cute.
episode.
Okay, they're cute.
Yeah, cute cast. We should watch it. Let's watch it.
Subomi?
There are
Shh, don't get the
definitely
cuss
people
word.
who are trying too hard.
Subomi, I didn't I'm not usually attracted to African American males, but like I was like, oh my god,
Oh, yeah,
are
he's
just
very
like
handsome.
effortlessly cool and looks like they're
Confident.
okay with like their like being in their own skin and who they
Yeah.
are and everything. And I just love that.
He's also a software developer.
Oh.
No, he's obviously smart, and he's really just confident.
I like his pecs.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
could rest my head on those.
He's looking for a sporty sub. Oh, sorry. Sporty Sabami.
Sporty.
So anyway, so that's what's giving me life.
Oh my god. Remind me again the show that we watched that you guys introduced us where everyone was naked and they had to get judged
Naked
before
Attraction.
their eyes. Like before
Naked
their face.
Attraction.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the UK.
Yeah.
And then
you
the
guys
UK
got
I
good
think that's
stuff.
also on Hulu or HBO or Max or one of them right now. You
Oh.
can actually watch it.
And Hulu also has Big Boys, the show that
Really?
you like that I like.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. I need to watch it now.
Very good.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So, all right. Now, for this week, Joe and I did no research, no work for it, nothing, because the producers are doing a love advice.
Paula and Joe give love advice.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Bum.
Why does it sound like the sports thing? Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum,
Do we have to do it?
ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Are you ready for this?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It could be worse if you sound like, what's the what's the slamming door that they have on Special Victims Unit?
Chung Chung.
Yeah, Chung Chung.
I never watched Law and Order.
It's my favorite show with
I know
Mariska Hargitay.
Mariska.
Yeah, Hargitay.
Hargitay.
All
That's
right,
a word.
You want to go first? So these guys have had no preparation.
Should we
They're
do
just
like a
gonna
legal
react.
disclaimer? Like, don't
Well,
actually
the only
listen to these
preparation
guys.
that I've had is Preparation Age.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Have you ever used Preparation
Okay,
Age?
yeah.
no.
I don't remember
3,
if I have or what it's
4,
for.
Have you ever had a hemorrhoid?
Oh, no.
Then no.
I've
You
got
wouldn't have.
5 or 6. I think Andy's got a few as well.
I have none.
So let's just dive into this.
And please take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You know,
We are not doctors.
we are not love
or
therapists,
psychologists.
So
emotional.
this subject is titled "My New Date is Not as Political as I Am.
Oh.
Is our relationship destined to fail?"
Oh.
I'm going to skip through some of this to first time. Dear Kai, dear person, the columnist, do you think that a radically left queer and a gay liberal could ever find true love together? I'm a radical queer person in a situationship. A couple of months ago, I matched with this girl on an app. It was supposed to just be a hookup, but then we just sort of kept going. I'll be real with you. She's sweet and gorgeous. The sex is better than amazing, and I can feel my U-Haul instincts kicking in hard.
Oh, no.
I know she feels it too because she's told me so. The only teeny tiny problem is that she's kind of a normie. Dramatic flash. Okay, I'm going to skip the flashback. There was a time when I would have never even considered dating someone like her, and I'm honestly really worried about introducing her to my friends because, to be frank, I know that they won't respond well to her and that they'll judge me for dating her. But the truth is that outside of her politics, she's one of the kindest people I know, and when I'm around her, I feel safer than I've ever felt with anyone I've ever dated. For the first time in my life, I could see myself really falling in love with someone that has to count for something, right? So I guess the big question is, like, can you fall in love with somebody who is incredibly different political views than you?
I don't think it's incredibly political. They're both on the left spectrum. But it's just
left and left far.
left and then just super duper left. I think what I'm hearing at the end where she's like, I feel safe, I feel heard, I feel happy, like you're already on the same political spectrum. I don't know what radical left is other than what Donald Trump says.
So if this is a queer person who will go and protest every single issue that they feel passionate about. So this is like somebody, if they're really passionate about Black Lives Matter, then they're out there, they're canvassing, they're doing everything they possibly can. T-shirts.
So they're out there.
They're
doing the doing.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like you can be in a relationship with someone and not do that, but it would be on the other person to be okay with you.
Right.
Not the other way
It's a
around.
two-way street, I think. You both have to have that conversation, and you both have to be okay with the difference between you. You don't have to be alike.
Well, and the fact that you're saying it's a teeny tiny thing, but you're trying to make it into something that it probably isn't, because have you even talked to her about this?
Yeah.
Like, she may not understand politics like you do, so she doesn't want to look stupid, so she doesn't say anything.
Right.
Have you even
But she's not the radical left one, is she?
No, the girlfriend is closer to center.
The one, which one is the one that wrote in?
The one that's writing it is very extreme left.
Okay, I thought it was the opposite.
No.
Okay.
I'm actually more concerned about her friends and the way she feels her friends might respond.
Well, and it's like you put it in there already that your friends are going to judge you
her.
and all this stuff, and it's like, first of all, you need to give your friends a little bit more grace, and hopefully there are nicer people than that.
Yeah.
But also, if they do that, are they really your friend?
I was just going to say the same thing.
Somebody who makes you feel safe and is kind to you and worries about you, like, you're willing to give that up for something silly like this.
So that, if you want a partner to protest with, then join a group.
I mean, I would say if you guys were like radically on different sides, like that person was very far right and you were far left,
different
then
story.
we have a problem.
Because then you're morally and ethically not aligned.
But also, maybe it's one of those people who just feel like politics is not something they want to deal with.
Yeah, and so I think that
And it's scary.
but I feel like there's more to a relationship than just politics.
Right.
Politics is the world that we live in to like navigate through society because we have like government.
But have you talked to her and see if she's okay with you being so far left and and
correct,
active?
not right. Yeah. I mean, the like partner, girlfriend, or whatever who's like centerline, like you're right. Like maybe she isn't super into it, and that's fine. But I feel like it's more of like an introspection on the super left person, girl. I'm assuming.
I think it doesn't really necessarily matter. I think it's people that have similar ideals, but could be very extreme in their similar ideals.
Right.
So, you guys are all saying a lot of the stuff that like also was a part of this feedback. So I think
the one thing I focused on was the fact that she feels safe, like and like happy. Like that is something that I think takes way more weight. It holds more weight than a political view, even though you're on the same side.
Yeah. Good chat. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Good question, right?
All right, here's another one. I think my boyfriend is cheating, and this is from Reddit Gay Relationship Advice. Hey everyone, I need some advice, and I cannot give a lot of detail as my boyfriend is always searching Reddit and all social media.
Throwaway account.
I found pictures of my boyfriend sending explicit pictures to other people and receiving such pictures and videos as well. We have been together for a very, very long time. I feel betrayed and my heart is in a million pieces, and it feels like someone's ripping out my guts every time I think about it, because I'm a person whose love language is intimacy, and that part of him should be reserved for me only. I do not know what to do. I've been crying for 2 days and pretending everything's okay. He's sending these pics where I have to beg him for pics like that, and I don't even get them. I'm so depressed and I just don't know what to do. Everything else about the relationship is good. What do I do?
Paul goes first. You're pondering.
So
Think out loud, girl.
okay. So here's the thing. Like, there's a lot of areas where this person hasn't offered up a lot of information. Like, when he's sending this, is he meeting people? Is it just on like a Tumblr or something like that where it's like there's no emotional connection to it? It's just, I'm sending you this, you're sending me that, I'm sending you this kind of thing. So, and also, if your love language is intimacy, is that you receiving the intimacy or you giving the intimacy or both? Because you've got to... You obviously, not everything is okay in your relationship if you can't talk to your boyfriend about what he's doing.
Yeah.
And also, like, intimacy is not necessarily sex, right? Either. Like, you've got to define for yourself what you think, and you've got to define that with you and your boyfriend, because like, sex does not equate intimacy, and that unfortunately that is what our society tells us it's supposed to. So it's like, okay, because I could get upset about it, but it's like, are you, like, what's going on? Why is this, like, you haven't even had a conversation as to why your boyfriend is doing this with your boyfriend yet. Like, so obviously...
Okay. So because this is Reddit, we get the advantage of people providing comments, and then sometimes the original poster...
Okay.
Adds some information.
The OP, yeah.
Oh, the OP, so someone commented, do you all live together? How did you find out about these pictures? Was it through snooping?
Right.
I'm the kind of person that believes upfront, clear communication is always best. If it was me, I'd confront him and inquire about what's going on. And OP responds, I had to snoop, unfortunately. I hate invading his privacy, but something had been nagging for months. And at first I thought it was I was just being an asshole. And then I'm just being paranoid. But yeah, I found what I found, and now I don't know what I must do.
So I think a conversation is warranted because, confronting people and like being vulnerable in these situations is very like personal, and it depends on person to person. Like, and I don't know if they're like afraid to have the conversation, but like you got to talk to the guy, like, and find out what's happening. Like what you said, Paul, about like, what's the reasoning behind? Like, yes, now you've like technically snooped, but like you had suspicions, but you could have also had conversations before that point,
Right.
to be like, hey, something is different. Like, I'm sensing a shift in whatever, and like, you're not getting responses. So then just maybe snoop or whatever, but like, you have to have like open conversation. Like, you need to have that conversation with them.
Well, and not only that, but like
Snooping's never a good idea.
I've already told this story about what happened when I moved here to
Yes.
San Diego.
Yes, you have.
About like, and this is how I found out that my boyfriend was cheating on me and everything, and it was different, but it's still one of those things where it's just like, okay, sometimes you have to snoop.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready to hear what you have to hear.
You got to be ready to find what you're snooping for.
Right. And you know what? And deal with that.
Yeah.
And, have the conversation. Don't sit there and say, well, I'm worried about what he's going to say or what his response is. Okay, but
Talk to him.
you still have to have that talk.
Yeah, and be prepared that like there are things that you may need to work on in the relationship, or
the relationship's
he's
over.
not wanting to keep it.
Right.
Yep.
So here's some comments that I think are really on point and not that different from what you guys are saying. It seems like there's bigger issues here than just him sharing photos, which in and of itself isn't really that big a deal. As others have alluded, that could be called interactive porn. If it's just sharing pictures,
Interesting. That's a
passively.
thing. Interactive porn.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about like, I'm just looking at whether I'm looking at porn on a website or looking at porn that somebody that I've made this online connection to.
But
So
also,
you're not meeting them, you're not having sex with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what.
But also, is it the picture and the stuff that's being sent? Is it something that is a fetish or kink,
Right.
for this person that they probably can't share?
I was going to go
with
there and be
that
like,
person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that they're like, oh, hey, I have this thing, but I don't want to do it because
So
I'm
this
afraid.
person, just like you all are saying, encourage them to talk, and we don't know why you're not bringing it up with them directly.
Yeah.
They may feel that this is totally different and it's not cheating at all.
Yeah.
But you have to stop thinking like from the perspective that you already concluded that they're cheating.
Yep.
Because of your perspective.
Right.
That's not realistic. Your partner's alive and he finds other men attractive and gets turned on by them. That's human nature.
Well, and I think too, also like defining boundaries. If that is something that like this person is like, hey, this doesn't mean anything to me, but I get a little like arousal or whatever, like you have to be like, am I okay with this? Or like, if this is a no sell, like it's a no go, then like you figure out why, and then if you can either accept it or not.
And also, in this day and age of OnlyFans and everything, like,
The world's different.
it's just different. And it's like you have to adjust your thinking.
Yeah, I think communication is key, and like we've touted that like in this podcast since the
Right.
get-go. Like if you can't have open communication, like you need to have open communication.
I would also say that like younger gay myself, the insecurities were different. So it's like,
Yeah.
why are you looking at them? Well, do you love them?
See,
And now I'm like, Joe and I like to kind of joke about the hot guys we look at on the
Right.
internet. And like it's like fun. That's
the girls at work are like
incidental.
"You
It
guys
doesn't
can
matter.
Joke about that, like and it'd be like, oh, he's your type, right? Like you like that one, yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
of course, like that's your type, right? Like we can do that, and it's like you can do that with like straight people can do it too if you just let yourself go.
Well, you have to have the like trust in your partner. Like we were having, it's funny we were talking about this. Like I love Jake Gyllenhaal, like, and I would love to like be with Jake Gyllenhaal,
That's
but
your
I was
hall
like,
pass.
I can't go. I will never be with Jake Gyllenhaal because that's not going to happen. But like even if that's the case, like I still would be like Nick is my choice. Like Jake Gyllenhaal,
But-
Nick, I pick Nick. Jake Gyllenhaal is a fun like put him on a pedestal, but like I wouldn't. If I got to that, I'm like, does that
But
make
also
sense?
like anyway, that's for another conversation. for
Also,
another day.
no, maybe I wouldn't. I would blackmail him with a sex tape so I can make money, and then we would get the profits.
Perfect.
So someone boiled it down pretty well. They said, number one, they talked about the love language. Intimacy is not a love language.
There's only
that's
5.
a term that means certain things.
Right.
And intimacy, to me, the intimacy part of this that's missing is the conversation.
Yes, the
that's
vulnerability.
real intimate
Absolutely,
element.
I
But
agree.
So one person said you have a few options. You can decide that swapping pics online with no physical contact is just interactive porn, and therefore it's not cheating, and move on with your lives. You can talk about it maturely. You can explain calmly how you feel insecure about it and ask him to agree to not do it anymore. Or you can throw a tantrum and storm out because he's a shitty boyfriend. And pretty much one of those is going to be the one you pick, right? The one thing that you've made clear, though, is from the beginning is that his penis is only for you and for no one else. That's not a boundary that's reasonable. You know, like, not that he's going to physically share it, but like, you know, like, I don't think. So anyway.
I don't know. I still keep telling Joe that maybe we can make some extra money with your OnlyFans.
Get me a crowd.
Yeah.
Pimp me out.
So there's a final follow-up on this one.
I was going to say, was there resolution?
Yeah. Thank you for your comments and advice. I am sad to say that we are no longer together. 7 years down the drain. I could not get over it. Nor could he. So yeah, broke up on the 3rd of June, 7 days before our 7th anniversary.
You know,
It's not down the drain.
right? I hate when people say that.
Live and learn.
I'm like, I hate that.
Me too. Absolutely. I
Nothing
absolutely
is
hate that.
the only time wasted is Trump's presidency.
But it's like, I do hate when people say, I wasted 5 years of my life. It's like,
No,
man,
bitch.
you
No, you
didn't.
didn't.
You
You
learned.
Right.
You lived.
Right.
You grew.
But what do we know about this poster? Like, you already know, like, they're very much stuck in their lane of seeing the world this one way, and there's nothing that's going to break them out of
Well,
that.
then they'll find someone who has those same, like, aligned morals and values, and that's fine. But, like, now you know, like, hey, just because you're with someone for 7 years doesn't mean, like, they're for you.
But also, this also teaches you where your boundaries lie and what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think it's a blessing for this person to kind of level set what they may want.
And maybe you learn what your real love language is.
Girl, there's 5. Take the quiz. It's free.
Your narrative of this is not the only narrative.
Correct.
Like, you were not cheated on and dumped. This is a disagreement about levels of...
And there's probably so much more. Like, those 7 years, there was probably some underlying something that then this was just the tipping point or whatever. I was like, there's a phrase, the camel thing.
The camel thing.
The camel thing.
Okay, I don't necessarily want to do the title of this one, but I'm going to anyway. Help, my boyfriend pretended to be Latino.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm here for this.
Hang in here. I'll try to read this fast and skip the parts that don't matter.
No, this all matters. I'm invested.
A year ago, I started talking to this guy on Bumble. My bio mentioned I'm from Colombia, which seemed to be really interesting to him.
Oh no.
He asked me questions about my background in Spanish, and I said he said his own mom was Colombian, which I thought was a neat coincidence. When we met in person for a coffee a few days later, we only talked in Spanish. He was accented to be sure a product of like U.S. raised, but he actually sounded like a Colombian in many ways too. He had recently spent a year in Bogota while completing his thesis. We went on more dates, and after that, and the relationship grew into something serious. Ooh. We reverted to talking mostly in English, but I knew I could always throw in some Spanish whenever I wanted. As an immigrant here in the U.S., it can feel comforting to stumble upon someone who is familiar with where you're from, who speaks your native tongue, and who you're able to freely code switch around. Fast forward to this past Thanksgiving, we traveled to his hometown to spend the holiday with his family, and I quickly realized that his mom is not Colombian, like at all. In fact, no one in his family has Colombian heritage whatsoever. When we were finally alone, he told me how sorry he was about making that up. He said he didn't think I'd agree to go on the first date with him if we didn't have that in common, and that he never expected an eventual first date to lead to anything. He said he'd been wanting... This sounds like a movie. He said he'd been wanting to set the record straight...
A Lifetime movie.
...for a long time, but was terrified I'd leave him if I knew.
Oh my God.
Obviously, making things about their family is most of the time a trivial, basic, harmless, super silly thing to do, but I was really taken back when I realized something close to me had been lying for a whole year. I guess I was unwittingly lying as well, since my own family just loved hearing about how I was dating another Colombian. Well, that's not true.
You weren't lying. You didn't know.
And more than strange, I think it was even sad of him to randomly claim Colombian heritage for the sake of just seeming more interesting. He was new to town when we met. He had just gotten back from his year in Bogota, and he must have thought no one would notice the reinvention. He even joined the Latin American club at his grad school. Anyway, what do you think? What do you make of this? And how would you proceed if it happened to you? Bolt the door? Question mark. Signed, Como la Flor.
So here's the thing: if someone has the ability to lie to you for a year, that's a big red flag. I think it might have been something that initially was like not malicious, where they're like, "Hey, I want this guy is attractive. I'm gonna like get with him. Like I'll say I'm Colombian."
I would like to
but
see
like
pics.
you got like come out like, oh my god, hey, like after our first date, like I know like I said I was Colombian, but I'm actually not. I said that to kind of like get involved with you, and like I'm actually white. Like clear it out. Like I think a full year. So I would say some inner soul searching for that person to figure out whether or not they can accept that. I cannot say whether or not to break up with this person. In my personal life, if I were in this situation, I would be like, you have the ability to hold a lie for a calendar year, so that breaks my trust.
Yeah, that's basically the.
Well, let
yeah.
Paul.
Also, she left out if in her Bumble bio.
Oh, it's a he and a he. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, it's a he and he. Okay, so he left out if in his Bumble bio he was looking for another Colombian,
Right.
because like for this other guy to just assume that he wouldn't go out with him because he wasn't Colombian is a problem in itself.
Right?
Right.
Like you automatically are making assumptions for people based on no evidence.
Yep.
So like there's an issue. Like the fact that you didn't think anything was going to happen past the first date. Okay, that's weird to say. And like you did this and then you kept going, but then it's like you knew exactly what you were doing because you spoke Colombian. You
Yeah.
I feel like that was a fetish thing.
I was
And-
thinking that as it was coming through, it was like
The
is this
part I
like a
skipped
thing?
through quickly, and it too long didn't read. The guy actually
TLDR
actually made up like stories about his Colombian side of the family.
Okay,
I mean, maybe-
that adds flavor to this because he is a pathological liar.
Maybe his mom went to Columbia.
Who knows?
University. That's in Columbia.
New York City.
The district of.
Oh my god, I love
from
that.
DC.
But I mean, like
in New York City.
seriously, I think it was like I think it's a fetish thing.
Yeah, and I have more concerns about the trust and the lack of like truth.
Right.
Like, girl, you lied for a year.
Right. So I mean,
Crazy, right?
I mean, yeah, people will do things, but you know, what are you going to do?
the major consensus of this was like run as far away as possible, as quickly as possible, because
Right.
there's too much. I don't know. It's
I wouldn't do it. Yeah,
It's-
I would if someone told me that like
everything's worth the conversation, and unless he's a murderer, but
maybe. Well, he maybe
sounds
is
very much like that show. You was it you?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you with Penn Bagley.
Sounds a little
Yeah.
serial killer, but
Well, so it was funny because I was listening to a YouTube thing on Reddit posts, and it wasn't about relationships, but it was about sustaining lies. And one of them was just a girl who, when she met, she was on the phone joking with a friend, and they were, this friend, their banter was talking in like British accents. And so she met a bunch of people that they thought she was British, and she kept going with it because it was like a new summer camp kind of thing.
Oh my god!
So she ended up that whole camp talking with a British,
accent. Stop it.
and they became friends like from a distance. So this group of people became friends over years.
oh my god!
Oh my god!
And
It also
she
sounds like a
always
movie.
Had a
sustained
British-
the British accent.
Stop
Oh my god,
it.
it's Madonna.
This is like Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
The lie.
Yeah, the
I
lies.
think, well, and I think there is something to be said about the other, like the person that was like, "Oh, I'm not good
Madonna.
enough to be your boyfriend because I'm not Colombian." Like, there is something there where it's like, build your confidence.
Well, also, he had to know that this lie was going to unravel at some point because the families
Not
we're gonna
Colombian.
meet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was inevitable.
It
If
was
this was
inevitable.
serious, it was
Right.
going to be inevitable that
Right.
they'd figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have been like, hey, by the way.
All right, here's one. A new date, 54-year-old male, has micropenis.
Oh.
I, a 42-year-old female, don't know what to do now, looking for advice.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. I recently met a date from a dating app, and we had a really good connection. It's been 3 weeks. Last week, we finally moved forward with more intimacy. Then I found out his penis is very small, like 4 inches, with erection, and not only the length, but also very thin in diameter, like my middle finger thin.
Oh.
Also tiny balls, like the size of a lollipop. So I have to be honest.
my God, girl.
This is
Okay, size queen.
This is so shocking for me. Afterwards, he asked me, hopefully, his size was good for me. I wanted to cry. I tried to find my own peace with the size, more focused on emotional connection and affection. But last weekend, we were staying at his place, and I spent 3 nights with him. Then I found out he also has performance issues.
Oh, God.
I have to keep giving him BJs to get him hard, but it wouldn't work for very long. It's like BJ soft again, BJ.
I'm writing that
In
down.
like 20 seconds, in 20 seconds, he was soft again. It's very frustrating for this woman. I like him, soft heart, nice and gentle.
He's got a soft heart and a soft penis.
For me, it's a very important part of a long, sustainable relationship is having that intimacy feeling. Has anyone had similar situation like me? How do you deal with it? Thank you.
Oof.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Good
like,
luck.
is he good at cunnilingus? Like, maybe that could be something that you enjoy. Have
Yeah.
you thought about it? Because obviously you're doing a lot of work to get him hard on this little micro penis.
But it's not, a micro penis isn't 4 inches. Like, a micro penis is
it's
like
not
a 1.
micro, yeah. So he has I think the average is like 4.5, so he's just below average.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, yes, it's a little thin and everything like that, but like, the performance issue could be tied to the fact that he knows he has a smaller
Yes.
than average penis.
Yes.
Which, makes it difficult for him to
That's exactly where my
to
head
stay
is at.
excited. But also, you need to have a conversation with him because it's like,
Yes.
the worst part is somebody, going and trying to rail you and they're like, you like that big dick, don't you? And you're like, ugh.
I don't feel it. Is it in? Is it in?
And you're just like, yes, baby, it's so big. I've never been filled like this before. Look, I know I don't have a large penis, but it is what it is, and and I know I have. The thing that gets me is the tiny balls because I'm like, look, they probably don't hang like other people's do. Because I don't have hangers.
It's always just like and I think that's like
Are we talking about like blow pops or like the little baby lollipops?
Those little charms.
Oh my God, no! Like the Rupert Float ones,
Actually, I really love
Those
those.
are good, though.
I love those.
but not for balls. I think for me, like Paul said, there's other options. I think there is the performance aspect is yes a part, but I think you can find other things to do, and
Is
you
your
need a
love language big
conversation.
dick?
Well, maybe, yeah.
But I mean, I also think that there are plenty of men who probably don't have the largest penis in the world, but have done a lot to perform really well with oral or
Yep.
other things that compensate for that,
Yeah.
and they can be some of the best lovers out there. Right?
Correct. And there's also like medicinal interventions if you need, like if he's having a hard time giving it up, maybe actually, you know what? Maybe there's an underlying condition.
He's not having a hard time. That's the problem.
No, she said BJ soft, BJ soft.
And he's 54, so he's getting older, and that could be just an
But
age
like
thing, too.
54 is not that old of an age.
No, but for some people, depending on their fitness, that could be
Right.
where
Right,
this
and that's
stuff
where I'm
starts
like,
to
maybe there's an
manifest.
underlying. You know what? That she could be doing him as a good service by being like, go get your health checked.
Yeah.
Watch out! Like the follow up to this is like, actually, he had high blood pressure or something.
Low testosterone.
Right.
So you guys are very aligned with the comments. So, comments are things like, sure, his dick is small, but he also could use his hands and mouth.
A strap-on.
She actually said
Strap-on
she
is the
doesn't
thing.
like oral sex.
Oh.
She's not particularly fond of it. And
She seems to
someone
giving it?
commented-
Of giving or
of receiving
getting?
it.
Oh.
And someone commented, "You probably just haven't had a guy that knew how to do it right."
Girl,
for you.
I know the ladies love a good lick.
like
No,
maybe
everybody loves a
maybe
good
it's
lick.
maybe it's like Brussels sprouts. You just haven't had good ones yet, so that's why you don't
Roast
like it.
them. Well, the Brussels sprouts are bigger than his balls.
And they need the bacon too, though.
That, a lot of people suggesting other things to compensate, like
Yeah.
toys or different methods and different
But he
positions.
doesn't. But a lot of times, guys who have small penises don't want toys because then it's something to compare them to.
Then he needs
So-
to
But
evaluate
that
his
is
not
life.
necessarily a dildo, but you could use combinations of that and a vibrator, for example, to heighten the experience.
Just get a strap on, and then
Yeah.
This is also
Or
why.
they also probably like penis like a sheath to like add some length, but it's still you.
No, see, that would be very insulting. I think someone would have to be admitting that they
A
are
small penis?
very small. Like
I mean, I don't know. There's options. Like, girl, it is 2025. They probably got something that you can do and like giddy up,
So, but just like you guys said,
YouTube.
5 is about the average. 4 is just slightly below average, and
Right.
it's not a micro penis. Haha. And then
responded by a man.
Just basically, if it's that important to this person,
Right.
then they probably are with the wrong person.
Yeah, but also, bitch, if you want a 12-inch cock that's 12 inches around, then you need to get yourself a different man and also get yourself checked because you're going to have a broken pussy.
Move to Brazil. I've got one more for y'all because we're coming up here on an hour. This one's hopefully a little bit more of a fun, but silly one, but also not because I know both of your mothers. I've met both your mothers.
Oh.
My mom is writing erotica.
Oh.
She wants help with her gay sex scenes.
Oh, no.
My
no.
mother has written a novel. I'm really proud of her, and I know she's enjoying writing again and having something outside of her job, which she
writing
hates to feel accomplished in. She keeps asking me for advice on certain sections of the novel, and I'm happy to help, but here's the problem. She started asking me for help for her gay sex scenes. We do not have that sort of relationship. She knows I'm gay, but we've never, ever discussed sex except in an abstract way. How do I tell my mom that I don't want to read her sex scenes and give her feedback? Signed, prude student.
But
You
why?
just tell her.
I don't know. So this is why it's a good question. Why?
I would, if my mom was writing a sex book and wanted some, like, she legitimately was, like, wanting advice, like, I wouldn't have a problem. I feel like it depends on the mom, obviously. Like, my mom would never be writing a sex book, and she would be like, sex doesn't exist. Like,
I would love to see the day when your mom does do
The
that.
Sue,
Right.
the
Just
Sue
to
Granelli
shock you.
sex book
Yeah.
would be fantastic.
she would, hell would boil over, or hell would freeze over before my mom writes a sex book. But if hypothetically she did, I would feel honored that she would come to me, like, because she cares about my opinion, and like I have gay sex.
So for me, I'm looking at it more as like, why are you so hung up on the sex part? Like, why are you so hung up on the fact that you can't have that conversation with your mother?
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's like there's something that you need to look at.
It's an insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I was going to suggest if it's really that uncomfortable, maybe you have a friends
Lube.
You maybe but maybe you have a friends group where you all are comfortable talking with each other that way,
Right.
and do it together as a group with her.
right.
Yeah.
So it's not just you, but it would give her an opportunity to see that other side of you too. And
Right. Well, and I mean, that's not something that, like, I feel like a lot of people can share with their parents. And I think that
that's where
maybe
I
the
go.
kid is probably like, oh, well, like, I don't want to share my personal sexcapades with my mom because I don't want her knowing my business.
But you're not talking about your own personal
Right.
thing, but you
It's
can be
it's
given
a
feedback
hypothetical. Yeah.
Right. It's like, Mom, this, like, the penis would not go in there like that. There has to be, when it enters a male's butthole, there has to be a little bit of resistance.
Correct.
And you need to talk
Mika's
about that.
traumatized right now.
Mom, you need to write in the throbbing engorged member.
What
and
I've been thinking
the
about-
anus enveloped.
The reason I really like this one though to talk about with y'all is that reading the Fourth Wing series,
Oh my god.
There is some graphic sex scenes.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
As I've told you all before,
Clitoris,
I usually
y'all.
just skip through it because I'm like,
Nope, I read it.
Sex. Okay, I'm over this.
I'm learning.
So I just can't imagine it being like, what would be the, hey mom, hey son, will you like read this? And does this sound like an adequate situation of gay sex?
Well, but it's
I don't
also-
know. I'm in a weird place. But
Romance novels are
And-
not the same as like real life.
and that's the question, because like erotica is this a weird space.
It's very much fiction, and it's very much not like
so-
you're not going to go on a date and be like, I want to see that enlarged member penetrate.
So is your
me.
mom being like, hey, so does the anal cavity get wet like a vagina does?
Or she's like, how does it
See,
work?
and for me, I don't
And maybe
know why
that's
you
okay.
couldn't have that conversation. You go,
Yeah.
no, mom, it doesn't.
And it's not like she just came to you and said, "Hey, your dad wants to dick me down later in the butt, and I need
Right.
some advice." No, that's
Yeah.
not what she just said. She wants your advice
love this
for the
conversation
book
so
she's
much.
writing.
Yeah, and she's just trying to figure out how to write 2 gay men plowing.
Okay.
But it is more about that person's insecurity
Yes,
or
100%.
Yeah.
or issues around
Totally.
sex.
Or boundaries.
I wonder what
internalized homophobia, if you will.
Correct.
Boundaries, because
I want to know what
I would
age this person is.
probably
Like,
not have that conversation with my own mom. Maybe I'd have it with your mom.
I would
but-
have it with anybody. I feel like because it is so taboo, not really anymore, but there's still like ooh, can't talk about gay sex. Like what? Like I remember Val, she was like, so like how does it work? And I was like, well, like glad you asked, because like
Here's a video.
right.
No, I'm not gonna show
take
you.
this peach and this banana.
but it was again, it wasn't malicious, and it was trying to like understand.
That's true.
And like coming from a place of like, I want to learn more about this because I care about you.
Right.
And this is something that you do and I don't know. And I am not trying to be rude or anything. I just want to learn because I
But
want to
it's
support
a
you.
generational thing too, because I think when people who are younger are maybe more comfortable talking about.
I
stuff
think
like
they're
that,
more open. Yeah.
because it's just been more exposure to
Yeah.
it. Where in my generation you didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
But even then, like
Only
my
my parents.
family, like you could watch HBO and there'd be a nude scene or a sex scene, and it wasn't a big deal. But
Yeah.
I remember
That's
having
for that
friends
stuff.
over that were so uncomfortable that we were sitting together in a room and like parents knew that was on, you know.
That's very European, though. I think
I would've been that kid.
I think American is so taboo. Sex is so taboo. But in other countries, it's like, yeah, we feel like it's fine. Like, whatever. Like, I talk about sex, and it is what it is. Like, it is a very, I think, socially American thing. Because, like, you go to Europe, and they're, like, fucking in the bathroom. And they're like, it's just Tuesday.
They're talking about raw dogging and barebacking on the morning news.
Yeah, with their
so-
croissants. They're like, hello, it's a raw dog day.
Pan au chocolat.
A pain au chocolat. But yeah, I would be fine. I think that, unfortunately, the mothers that I have in my life probably wouldn't. Which is like, listen, if they're uncomfortable, then that's on them.
Yeah.
It starts with the mothers, though.
It does. Because, I mean, Andy, you're right. Like, I feel like before sex became something that was, like, okay to be talked about, it was like, no, people don't have sex, babies just appear, and then that's it. Like, pleasure.
It's historic.
Yep. You go and you have the bird.
But your mom, in this case, in this scenario, your mom's the one asking the question. So
Yeah.
she's okay with this.
Yeah,
right?
and I'd be fine. I'd be like, I got you, girl. So we'll start from the beginning. Either you douche or you don't. And it depends on how much you care, and then you go from there.
We're going to talk about the bees and the bees.
When a man and a man love each other. And every time gay people have sex, an angel gets its wings.
I just start saying, every time they touch, I get this feeling.
Okay, Cascada.
You're definitely not getting that $5,000 credit from Trump.
So
To have
if
kids.
y'all had fun with this, write us in some advice requests, and we'll give you Joe and Paul's advice.
You may not like it, but we'll give it to you. We're going to give it to you.
And they will never give it to you straight.
100%. It's going to be good.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to These Unprecedented Gays. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we continue exploring the ever-changing landscape of queer life. Until then, stay proud, stay fierce, and stay unprecedented.